Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Reclaiming Me. Today I am joined by Barbie Lee Hemmings, right? Okay. And we are going to be discussing not settling in life, just allowing the flow of life to take you where it goes and not putting that pressure on us to do it right or to do it how we think we should or to just live in that, like not living in scarcity and not living in feeling like, well, this is what I should do, even though it's not what I want to do. And I'm going to limit myself because that's what I was told is the right thing. So it's going to be a fun episode. I'm so excited for it. And Barbie Lee and I actually met through serving, what's called a serving circle call. So I, as many of you know, live in Saskatoon. Barbie Lee now lives in Mexico. And the person who we connected through actually lives in Australia. So this was a very global connection. And so a little bit about Barbie Lee. For over 40 years, she was working with kids and adults, counseling, teaching, and coaching. And she has guided a lot of people to be better, whether it's in her lifestyle coaching, which is empowering people to embrace the new F words, food, faith, fitness, finance, and fun, or her business coaching, working with brand partners, helping them create a recurring back end income. Barbie Lee's eye is always on the prize, the quality of life. Life happens. It is a four-letter word after all, but what if we were prepared for it? What if today you put systems in place so that future you can relax? Yes, please. After working with her, her clients say, wow, I never knew it could be this easy. And her absolute favorite, why don't they teach this in school? So, hello, Beverly. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited. How are you?
I am freaking amazing. I'm so excited. I love having these conversations. So thank you for inviting me in.
Thank you for joining. I am super thrilled about it. I'm so excited. I love your energy and I love your message. So I think it's going to be great. And I think your message will really resonate with the listeners.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So let's start with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and explain a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. It's I always tell people life is meant to be juicy and delicious. And
Mm.
if it's not, you're doing it wrong because it's meant to be juicy and delicious.
Yeah.
And there was a time in my world where I struggled, right? I grew up, my youth was not pleasant, shall we say. And that's my past. It doesn't really matter. It's just my past. And I had to make a choice to make life amazing. And that's what I thought I did. I went to university, I got a couple of degrees, I was going to be a teacher. And then I hit a brick wall. I got sick.
Mm.
And that changed everything because it started me on this path of having to trust other people. And I'm a little type A personality, so trusting other people, but trusting other people to make me better. And it wasn't working. What they were doing wasn't working. And I had to trust myself. And
Mhm.
that was one of my big lessons is I had to trust myself. If I didn't like what that allopathic doctor was doing, I need to do something different. So I have now discovered the secret to having this juicy and delicious life. It's called quality of life. I know it's no big secret. Like it's seriously not a secret, right? We talk about it, but we don't talk about it until we're old. That's the problem. Usually people start talking about their quality of life when they're 70, 80, or their parents are going into some home. Well, what's the quality of care? What's the quality of life? I'm like, no, we need to talk about it right from the beginning, right from the time somebody is born,
Yeah.
right? How do we assure somebody's quality of life? And that's what I'm doing. I was like, oh, I'm so excited because there's just little things we get to do along the way.
Yes. I love that. And that's very true. Yeah. And they do say that, like, don't they say that your prime is kind of like in your 50s or 50s and 60s or something? Because that's when you kind of just start to reflect and like do the things that you want to do, and you don't worry about all those other.
But why do we wait till we're 50 and 60? Like that's we've wasted those first 50 years. Most people don't live to 100. So you've wasted half your life
Mhm.
struggling, not you, other people, and maybe people that are listening, I don't know. But then they struggle. What for?
Yeah.
So
I
we're
find
here just to talk about making it easier, making it
yes.
better.
And I find too that like that seems to really become or be a thing now with like the younger generation, like even younger than my generation, seems to like there's so much social anxiety, and there's so much like they struggle with sometimes even doing an 8-hour day of work, and it's just like there's not that same quality of life, there's not that same connection, there's not like. And yeah, a lot of people that are younger don't sit there and really reflect on their life and be like, am I enjoying this? It's just like they go through on autopilot.
Yeah. And you said it earlier about what they should. People think about what they should. And I had a coach once that said, and it sticks with me, and people say it all over the place. Stop shooting on yourself,
My coach said
right?
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Live your life the way you want to live your life. When I left teaching and I had a job, it was guaranteed, I was going to have my pension. And when I left teaching, everyone thought I was freaking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Who's laughing now? Me every day because I love my freaking life. That's what I do now. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. I believe it's so important to follow your intuition and
Yes.
just like you grow so much and get so far in life when you're living from a place of alignment
Yeah.
instead of forcing things or doing what other people tell you is the
Amen.
right thing to do. And
Yeah.
you learn so much about yourself, you grow so much, you are more successful, like everything just flows. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so now I have a kind of fun question that I like to ask. So if you were a drink, and it can be alcoholic or
Yeah.
non-alcoholic, what would you be and why?
Water.
Water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Water is everything. Water is a little bit here. You can add a little bit of flavor and make it Kool-Aid or some sort of fruit juice. You can add alcohol and you can have a drink, a fancy drink. You can swim in it. It's life sustaining. It's like it's what we are made of, 80, 90%, whatever you believe of what people say we are. Like water to me is the life. It is everything. So if I believe that I'm one with the universe, which I believe I am, and I know I am, and this abundance, which, H2O, right, water or oxygen, right? So water has oxygen and oxygen's life. Well, I want to be a part of H2O because that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Cool.
know you probably never got that answer before,
No, I was not expecting that at all.
but think about it. Our like water, there's a wonderful book, video, like movie, whatever. It was out in What the Bleep. But Dr. Emoto wrote about
Mm-hmm.
images in water, and how powerful water is and how powerful we are. So if I think that I'm water, if I'm a drink, I'm water because I can see the crystals and how beautiful they are when I say things like, I am blessed and I love you and gratitude and not do those crazy things like, the spiraling of
Yes.
dick in my world, right? So I would be water.
Okay, I like that answer. And yeah, it's I don't know a whole lot about his work, but for anyone listening, he no, you can correct me and like elaborate on this a little bit, but he did an experiment with water, right? Where he put it in some type of container, I believe, and then you set like intentions into it, correct? And then the water actually like crystallized in different ways and changed shape and form based on what you spoke into that water. So if you had good
Yeah.
intentions, it went one way and formed into certain crystals. And if you had bad words and bad intentions and bad thoughts, they kind of like deformed or something, right? Like they kind of went to different, yeah. And
The biggest thing to me too was just the environment. What like a city, a particular city's water looked like before they did anything to it, before they prayed over it, offered it gratitude or anything. So a place like Vancouver, British Columbia had beautiful water, but New York had very
mm,
not so beautiful water when they photographed it. But it's just about the energies. Classical music made beautiful crystals.
mm,
Heavy metal banger music really deformed crystals. So
yeah,
if we're water, we have to think about what that stuff is doing to us and how we want to be. How does that assure our quality of life? What kind of music are we listening to? All the stuff, what are we listening to? Not
yeah,
just music. What's our environment?
yeah. And I believe that it's important to, because a lot of these things we do so subconsciously, it's important to start to pay attention to our thoughts and the things that we say and the way that we speak to ourselves and we think about ourselves, and to just really like master that and become very conscious of our thoughts, our words, our feelings, and just be kinder to ourselves and to others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a coach once that said to me, because you use the word subconscious, and people use that word, and there's nothing wrong with it. But he said, Barbie Lee, what if you changed subconscious to unconscious?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why? And he goes, because then you'd have to talk about being unconscious. Not, oh, my subconscious did that. I was unconscious when that happened. And I was like, but I was wide awake. And he's like, were you? And I'm like, ooh. Anyway, she just made me think of that. So
That's actually the word that I meant to use was unconscious, but I actually
yeah,
used subconscious.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So now I know you're very health conscious. So can you explain your morning routine to us and like how do you start your day off right?
I love this question because mornings are my favorite. I'm a morning person. I am kind of up and down with the sun. If the sun comes up, I'm waking up when the sun goes down. I'm ready to, just kind of veg or dance or have conversations with people. I have not needed an alarm clock for years because of the way I've created my life. So I don't have a structure unless I'm traveling somewhere, and then I need an alarm clock to make sure I don't miss my plane. But other than that, I wake up naturally in my circadian rhythm. I'm typically up somewhere between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. I naturally wake up. And as soon as I wake up, I go, oh, I'm so grateful. I woke up this morning. The first thought out of my mind, and that started about 6 years ago when my girlfriend called me and she said her husband didn't wake up beside her. They
Oh,
had gone to sleep that night and he did not wake up. And she's like, I didn't want to wake up either. And I was like, oh no, you want to wake up. And so, and sometimes like I'll poke my husband to make sure, he's waking up too, but he's not yet.
yeah.
But so the very first thing I start with gratitude, right? I did the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, whatever her name is, that had written The Secret. And she wrote this 21 Days of Gratitude. And she said, every time you walk to the bathroom, each step say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm like, okay. So first thing, so when I open my eyes in the morning, oh, thank you, I'm alive. And then, oh, I have to pee. And I go, thank you, thank you. And I just walk to the bathroom. And first thing, then whether I have my what I call my go-go juice, which is some products from Isogenics that I use Ionics and Cleanse and our Isogenics greens, and I mix my little go-go juice. Whether I do yoga, Pilates, I dance, I might have a calm day, which I do my Savasana and I do meditation. Um, or I like there's different things that I do, but that gratitude
Yeah.
never changes. It is the very first thing because it sets me up for the attitude of gratitude throughout the day. And if I get down on my yoga mat, I'm feeling a little stiff or something like I played a really hard game of pickleball yesterday, and these two guys on the other court were pounding it at me because I'm a girl on the court and they don't think I can handle it. I can, by the way. But my arm got a little sore because I was blocking the ball so many times.
Yeah.
So this morning I didn't do my regular workout, but I did some of them. And in between, I journaled.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay. And so I have those practices. So my gratitude is always, I might dance in the morning, right? If the sun's already up, I dance. If it's still dark, I do a little more low key. I tend to do some yoga, some Pilates. I always have my go-go juice. I journal. I might read. I picked up, no, I'm not even lying to you. The book is this thick. And it's Woman's Health by Dr. Christiane Northrup.
Okay.
And I love, like, oh my God, I'm just devouring it. So there's always something for me.
Hmm.
And some mornings I go to the beach. If I wake up and go, oh, I got 10 minutes till sunrise, off I go. And
Oh,
I'll go to the beach for
awesome.
sunrise. But that gratitude is key.
Yeah. I need to be more cognizant of doing it very first thing when I wake up, but I try to do it for sure before I head to work for the day or before I start working on my business or anything because it's so important. And I realize that like it just it completely leads the way that your day is going to go. And when I started doing like my what I call prep the field, which is like my energy work, and part of it is gratitude. And like I sit there and I'm like, thank you so much, Heart, for like beating today and for
Yeah.
being here for me and for producing my electromagnetic field. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna have a great freaking day today. Like it's gonna be a fantastic day. And it's funny because oh, what's that song? Or that movie, the one with Hilary Duff and it's like the Cinderella one, but I can't think of his name. Anyways, it's like that song, like it's the perfect day.
Oh, yeah, 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 I know the one. I know the one.
You know that one. And so
Yeah, yeah,
I changed the words a little bit because
yeah,
I don't like the like nothing can go wrong because it's still inviting that
yes.
possibility in, right? But I'll be like, everything's gonna go right, like everything's gonna be great, and like I'm gonna handle it so well, even if things don't go the way that I plan. And
That's why I called my business Quality of Life Assurance,
yes,
right? Because I'm assuring that with my daily practice, the things that I do, where I live, the people I hang out with, that I get the quality of life that I want. It's
mm-hmm.
it's it's like it's everything.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah, and it just like it honestly, yeah, it changes your whole perspective on everything. And like now that I've started doing that, because I'm a stenographer. And so, like, my days can be incredibly stressful and very rushed. And since I've started doing that, I'm just like, I'm more calm and more positive,
yeah.
and I don't let those things get to me anymore, especially not to the same level. And if they do affect me, I can work through them right away. And it's like five,
Yeah.
10 minutes. Okay, we're done and we're back to good.
So you said you want to be more cognizant of the gratitudes when you first wake up. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did, because as a teacher, in the front of my classroom, I always had some positive phrase, right? It was usually, if you fail to plan, plan to fail. That was
Oh,
always the one
yes.
in the front of my room. But what I did is I took my teacher letters, those punch out letters that are always so fun,
Yeah.
and I put, I am so grateful. So when I'm lying in bed, as soon as I open my eyes in the morning and I look out, because that's, you just got exactly where my eyes went, it said, I am so grateful. And that's what started training me. Because I didn't think of it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw it, now it's automatic. And those little habits, when we do those little things, just put a sign on your wall.
Okay. That's a good idea. I'll have to try that out.
And it gives you an excuse to go to the teacher store and buy something fun. I don't even know if they still have teacher stores, but you can always just make something on your computer too. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome. I have my vision board as my background on my
perfect.
computer. So
Yeah,
that's something that because every time I open it, I'm like, oh yes, these are the reasons I'm doing this. These are like
yeah,
this is what I want.
exactly. Good job.
So now we're gonna kind of change topic or change tune a little bit. What was the biggest obstacle that you've overcome in your life or your career?
When I read this question, right, I was like, oh, I'm not a fan. Back when I had the obstacles, I could give you 15, right? Today, I look back and I don't like the word obstacle because I look at it as a challenge, right? Am I
Mhm.
going to rise to this challenge? I'm going to let it block me. So something as simple as when I got sick, right? When I was teaching and like kind of in the height of my career and I get sick, That was an obstacle. So
Hmm.
what am I going to do about it? Right. And, but today I look at back at it and I think it was such a blessing
Yeah.
that I got sick and the traditional way of healing me wasn't doing any good. So I had to find a different route. And that's what led me to isogenics. It led me to wellness, not like actually actual health care and not sick care.
Yeah.
So obstacles, I could say, so if I'm writing a book, the obstacles in my world were as a kid, I was in an alcoholic family. My mother sent me to Al Anon because I'm surrounded by alcoholics, not her. She wasn't one, but I should go to learn how to deal with the other alcoholics in my family. So that could have been an obstacle, right? My brothers and sisters thinking that I was partially retarded most of my life and they just kept calling me stupid. That could have been an obstacle for me. It could have been when I got sick,
Yeah.
right? I think there's so many different things that I could bring forth. And at the same time, I go, I wouldn't be who I am today without those. So I
Hmm.
get it when people are in these places of, oh my God, I've had a roadblock. I'm sorry, I'm totally distracted because there's a beautiful sunset like right over my computer. And it is so glorious. Sorry, I digress. But that's my world. Um, and I get when people are up against the wall and their backs up against the wall and they're not physically or financially stable. And I get that they feel the obstacles. And what I have to say is if we change the word to, so this is my challenge,
Yeah.
and go, are you up for the challenge or are you going to recede from the challenge? And most people say, I don't need this challenge right now. I'm just going to step back and see how it goes. And that's okay too. Wait for the right time that shows up. For me, when my sister told me that oh, you're too stupid to go to university anyway, right? I was like, well, I'll show you. Notice I think I got my letters are up here, right? I have two
Yes.
degrees. It was a 5 year combined degree program. I finished them in less than 4 years on a 3.8 out of 4 GPA.
Wow.
To my sister, I don't know if this is video or not, but I gave her the finger, right? So I could look at it as an obstacle, and I can also look at it. Obstacle races are fun. You ever see that Tough Mudder? You ever see
Yes.
the obstacle course? That's fun. So it's
I
all how
did.
we look at it.
Yeah. I did Rugged Maniac and it was like, oh my God, I was cut head and toe afterwards.
Right.
But it was so much fun. I had a blast with it.
I'm taking you for a little walk, so I need to turn on the light. There we go.
So speaking of that, I love that saying, which I might be like kind of changing it a little bit, but that obstacles are just detours leading
Yeah,
you or redirecting you in the right direction.
agreed.
And a lot of those big things that seem like horrible at the time or so hard to get through are huge building blocks in our lives. And they're kind of what often will take us onto the path that is like, what's right, what we're called to do or something like that. It's a life-changing moment a lot of the time. But a lot of people struggle to get through them once they come up against them.
One of the things that I've really noticed with social media, which is really anti-social media, is people tend to post what they think other people want to see. They
Mm-hmm.
post, oh, my perfect life, or this or that, or they go totally the opposite direction and woe is me, I need your,
Yeah.
support, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a place for social media, absolutely. Like we found each other through Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that place. And at the same time, when we use it appropriately and when we use it for, I always say for good and not evil, then we can find out how others have turned their obstacles into their blessings, right? I don't know how many cancer survivor stories I've read that said, I thought I was going to die. And
Yeah.
now I see the blessing in living,
Yeah.
So we see it all the time. So I tell my clients all the time, right, is whatever's in your way, it's just a delay. Michael Beckwith from The Secret, I used to go to his church when I lived in Los Angeles, and his one of his favorite lines is every delay is delicious.
Mm.
So there's a reason for the obstacle, there's a reason for the delay.
Hmm.
So that's what I say that. So I read this story about, some monk up in Tibet or something, and he would always say, "Oh, so this is my challenge." So I use the word challenge because that inspires me. I love to be challenged. You gonna
Yeah.
challenge me? I'll take you on, no problem. Right? That's my type A personality. So when people find the words that work for them, but we've given such power to words like an obstacle.
Yeah.
But when I tell you to think about the Tough Mudder obstacles, you're like, those are awesome. You roll through the mud, you got to climb a rope and land on the inflatable tubes. Like, it's how we look at them and how we perceive them.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's so interesting that you mentioned the like health and everything as well, because I strongly believe that a lot of the times too, those challenges or obstacles in our health are a lot of the time they're like suppressed emotions that we have
Oh, yeah.
not expressed or felt. And we always like, it is so common. Like we've been raised to just stuff them down, stuff them down, stuff them down. Don't let people vulnerability as weakness, and especially like men too. They got to be the tough one, they got to be the strong one, they can't. And so that's kind of the way that they were raised. And then so we stuff those emotions down. And then all of a sudden, they're like, I'm not being seen. I'm not being heard. I want to be released. I'm going to make you see me. Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think healthcare is kind of starting to realize, but that's a whole thing. But it's just, I think it's something that's important that people should probably start realizing, because we have so much more control over our life than we give ourselves credit for. And
Yes.
it's also like we rely so heavily, and I mean, I work in healthcare, but we rely so heavily on healthcare. But the thing is that it's not preventative. Like you said, it's
No.
like it's sick care. It's once you're sick. And Western medicine relies so heavily on like medication and pumping you with drugs and everything. And there's often better ways that we can deal with those things. And so I think it's really important to kind of learn and look into that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so kind of along that same line, can you tell us about a recurring lesson that you've learned either in your life or your career?
The one that always comes to mind is I have to slow down to speed up.
Yes.
So I have a type A ADHD brain, and we're talking about what the brain does.
Yeah.
And I diagnosed myself because I'm a special needs teacher. I could do that now. I have a really high functioning brain, and I like to do. And it should have happened yesterday. I thought of it today, but I should have thought of it yesterday. Like I do that kind of
Mm,
thing in my mind.
yeah.
And when my coach said to me once, Barbie Lee, you need to slow down to speed up. I thought, what? Like I didn't understand that. And she of course she didn't tell me because a good coach never tells you anything. They just say something very profound and you're supposed to figure it out yourself. Anyhow, um, but what it did for me is that one phrase taught me meditation. It
Mm,
taught me to do gratitudes.
yeah.
It taught me to journal because what does she mean? Slow down to speed. I don't. Ah! Give myself the opportunity. And it's still like my husband and I are really looking into AI, and we're looking at some things that we're going to do with over 50 and AI, and using that to help fund, because a lot of people are very worried about pensions and stuff. So
Mm,
how can you create incomes with AI if you're over 50 and can barely use a computer? So we're working
yeah.
on that kind of thing right now, and we're really excited about it.
That's
And
awesome.
I want everything yesterday
Yeah.
because I have all these ideas.
Yeah.
And I was
I'm
like,
the same
okay, no,
way.
I have to give myself 90 days. Like I've given myself, husband's like, we should probably give ourselves 6 months. I'm like, no, I get 90 days. That's all we get. So let's get at it. Slow down to speed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was something. that I really noticed too was once I started like slowing down and just like taking my time to do things. Like I used to be like go 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 rush 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 like always rushing, and your nervous system is so heightened. It's always activated. And once I started to meditate and to slow down and to just like be deliberate with my actions, and it changed everything for me. And like meditation has changed everything for me. And there's something else we were talking about that I was going to comment on. Oh no, it's called, maybe I wasn't meant to say it because now it's just slipped through my mind. But yeah, just like taking that deliberate action and slowing down, and then you can be more in alignment. So you're not doing so much like that busy work, that frantic energy, that like whatever, you're doing the next right step. And something that my
And if your
coach,
listeners, right? Because sometimes listeners are like, I don't meditate, I don't know how to journal, I'm like, take a shower.
yes, yeah, that's a good
That's all you have to do.
one.
Take a shower, wash your hair, wash your body, shave your legs, whatever it is that you need to do. Play with the bubbles. And
Yeah,
you know what? That's where you get your best ideas. Everybody knows it. They remember something on the grocery list. And if they think, oh, I can't meditate, showering is a meditation. Washing dishes is a meditation. Walking down the grocery aisle and is could be a meditation.
yeah.
It doesn't mean sitting going, oh, it's not what meditation is about. Meditation is coming into your center and
Mhm.
being present.
Yeah.
And then there's different variations of that, but it all starts from, I don't know, taking a breath. Maybe that's a meditation. Oh, go figure.
Yes. Even yeah, a couple deep breaths like moves so much
Mm-hmm.
energy. And the other nice thing about showers too, like if I'm feeling off, if I'm feeling like jittery and whatever, I will take a shower and it makes me feel
Yeah.
so much better. And then it like, because water is emotion, like water, the element of water works with your emotions and your feelings. And so you can allow it to just, and like set the intention that it like washes all of that crap away that you're ready to let go of.
See, now you understand why I want to be water. Not because I want to be in the shower with you. I'm not creepy like that. But the power that water has,
Yeah.
that's why I want to be water.
Yeah. That reminded me of one time I was in university, and our professor at the end of class asked us a question of like, they gave us, we had to like write it down or whatever, our answers, and we handed them in. And it was like, if you could have any kind of superpower or something like that, and like no one, like you had no consequences from like, if you could do anything you wanted in the world, um, I don't remember if it was a superpower. I think it was if you could do anything you want in the world, whether it be bad or good, and there was no consequences for it, what would you do? And she read one out. It's like something about going into Ryan Reynolds' house and like watching him shower or something.
Totally. Hey, she's being honest, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then I remembered the other thing that I was going to say too
Okay.
was that when we're like in that hurried, rushed energy, a lot of people, this is something that they can notice, is that that's when we make the most mistakes because we're not
Mm,
thinking clearly, right? And so it's just like that's when thing after thing happens, and we when we make mistakes, and we have, and then it just makes us more frantic. And then when we just take some time to take a few breaths and slow down and be more cognizant of our actions, that's when things start to go right.
exactly.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. And then, so I understand that you've held multiple positions and explored many different skill sets throughout your career. You never settled, but you continue to search for what feels right to you. So, can you kind of walk us through that journey?
Mm. Yeah. I, it's a tough one because there's different things that inspire different people to do or think the way they do, or to affect people, or to trigger people, whatever it is. So everybody has their own journey in that way. So when I think about the different things that I did throughout my life, and I've done a variety of things. I have been an entrepreneur since the age of 8. I used leverage at the age of 12 to get a paper route in the city of Edmonton because they wanted 12-year-old newspaper carriers. I'm like, perfect, I'm 12. But as soon as I called them and I told them I was a girl, they heard my voice. Oh, you have to be 14. So
Oh,
I hired my brother to be the face of my operation. I did the work. He helped me collect the money. Like, so there's been things going on throughout my world, that the type of training that I've taken in cognitive behavior therapy, neurolinguistic programming, religious practitioner training. There's been all sorts of things that when so growing up, I was very limited.
mm.
I was just Barbie Lee. Actually, I really thought my name was Damn It Barbie Lee for the longest time because my mother would say all my brothers and sisters' names until she'd go, "Oh, damn it, Barbie Lee." I really thought that was my name. So I felt very limited. And then when I was the only one left at home, because I was a little younger than the rest of them, um, I lashed out
Mm.
because now I'm going to be seen, right? You talked about that with men too, right? And how we have this, and it wasn't really until I had this wellness crash. Just before the wellness crash, I was already in the sick version,
Mm.
and I didn't want that anymore. And
Yeah.
I had to make a decision how that was going to be. Now, I could have, because I was a teacher and I had great insurance, I could have been retrained and taken that route, taken a cushy job in some administration in the education world and keep making my teacher's salary and probably shoot my brains out in the next year or two, because that's how I would have felt.
Yeah.
But I was like, I walked away from a guaranteed job and to do network marketing. Who does that? I do, because I got sick and teaching made me sick and no one could tell me why.
Mm-hmm.
No one could tell me why. Well, if I go back there, am I not just going to get sick again? Like, it's when I started, like, seriously, and I'm not saying this because I want you all to buy my products, but buy my products. When I started feeding my body great nutrition, I started to think again. We feed ourselves such crap. We don't get to think. We just follow. The
Yeah.
food, everything we have is so depleted, and we're starving nutritionally. We're starving socially. So we go onto social media, we think we have friends. We
Mm-hmm.
become this keyboard coward. People call them warriors. I call them cowards, because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And I have to be so conscious. I tell people I brainwash myself all the time. Everywhere around me, there's something that reminds me about the life that I want.
I love that.
So this whole journey and all these things that I've done, I may have settled like I'm going to be a teacher. Yeah, let's do that. Then that didn't work, so I left that. Right? Okay, now I'm going to be. You know what? I'm going to be the best practitioner in my church ever, and work with the kids. I'm going to shave the kids. Oh yeah, no, done with that. You know. And it wasn't until I found out who I was
Mm-hmm.
that things. And now today, I'm still doing network marketing. Love freaking network marketing. I think there's no better way to earn an income. But now there's AI. I was like, how can I use AI to help me in my network marketing? So now I'm passionate about AI. So I keep doing these things. I have a friend. She is 3 days older than me. We're
Okay.
exactly the same. Everything about us. We've both been married a long time. We both have 2 kids, la di da. And she goes, Barbie Lee, it's time to slow down. I said, I'm going to slow down when I die,
Yeah.
because life, I only get this one shot in this body to be
Mm-hmm.
Barbie Lee in this existence. I'm not wasting it. Because you know what I was told once? If I don't learn my lessons in this time, they come back to haunt me in my next life. I don't want that. I, I'm like, I'm done with some of this shit. Like, I'm done. Right. So if I don't make sure I squeeze everything, right? I started to call it the juicy and deliciousness of life. If I don't squeeze all of that out of this, I'm going to come back and I'm going to have to, suffer some of that crap again. When I come back, I'm coming back as a butterfly or something, and I'm just going to flutter around. And, I might have to struggle a little bit to get out of the cocoon to remind me who I'm a butterfly. But, you know, life is just too freaking short. What if tomorrow your husband wakes up, or he doesn't wake up, you do, and he's dead beside you? What if your, husband, a friend of mine, he's SAR tech, search and rescue tech. He didn't come home from work one day. Like, we have no freaking idea when our life ends.
Mm-hmm.
And what, I'm going to sit in a dead end job, hoping that maybe I'm going to live long enough to have a pension so maybe I can have a life in my 50s. Screw that shit. Tapping out.
Yes. Yeah, I love
I'm not sure if I answered your question.
that. I think you did, but any which way, I
Okay,
like
good.
the answer. Do you have any advice though for like someone who's kind of sitting on that fence where they're like, I feel like I want something more in my life, but isn't like they're scared because I mean, it's a scary thing, right? And we're afraid of the unknown. So, do you have any advice for that person who's like, oh my God, I'd be crazy to do this, but it's what I feel called to do, to just get them to, take that leap of faith and just do what they know is their calling?
It's a tough one. You know, People get caught up in, like we talked about, their shoulds, their could have, their would haves. My parents want this for me and all that. And then sometimes when we have the calling, we don't think it's a calling. We think it's a joke. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not meant to paint. Forget it. I'll never make any money being a painter, or whatever it is. And here's what I know to be absolutely true. We have survived every bad day we've had up until today. Every bad day we've survived. So what if we have a few more bad days? The odds are we're probably going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, well, guess what? Figure out what happens in life after death, or what happens, and then not worrying about it. You know, I met this guy networking maybe about a year ago, homeless. The only thing he makes sure he has is his internet, because he videos other homeless people's stories and puts them on his Instagram. And he would rather not eat and still pay his cell phone bill to share other people's stories on his Instagram. I'm like, I can love you. Let me send you some money. Like, where can I Venmo you some money? People just do things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay to do them. And guess what? It's okay to fail.
Yes.
It's okay. And you know what? Do you go back? Trust me, when people say, oh, I don't want to go back to teaching, I would never go back to teaching. I might teach again,
Yeah.
but I'll never go back to teaching,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're a stenographer and you're building your coaching business, right? You'll never go, if you leave stenography, you'll never go back. You might pick it up again,
Yeah.
right? But you're never going to go back. Go back means we can change the past.
Yeah.
So we can't. So I'm sorry. You can look at any religion on the world, in the world, and even the crazy ones. None of them have been able to change the past. They simply learn from the past and they move forward. What makes you so special to think that it's going to be any different?
Yeah.
Like, thousands of years, thousands and millions of billions of people. Just what does Nike say? Just do it.
Just yeah.
Right? Or in the 60s, there used to be those t-shirts that says that if it feels good, do it. Like, they were talking about sex and drugs and rock and roll. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, if it feels good, do it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, just take a breath, close your eyes, take a breath, get connected, and go, yeah. We were out the other night meeting some new people, and I said to husband, I'm like, I'm done. And he's like, okay, we're done. I said, good night, everybody. And we walked out. He's like, are you okay? I said, I just started to feel icky.
Mm.
I got 9 text messages. Are you okay? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, just didn't like the vibe anymore. I needed to clear my head. I don't care. They all talked about me after I left. Ask me if I care. Go ahead, ask me. Go ahead.
Okay.
No. And that's the thing. When I found out who I am, my quality of life changed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a crap what other people said. There's when you're going to ask me a question about the insult, I'm going to answer it right now. The
Okay.
greatest insult I get is when someone calls me a bitch. Oh, Barbie Lee, you're such a bitch. And I say I'm a babe in total control of herself. BITCH. I'm a babe in total control of herself. Somebody taught me that years ago.
I like that.
When they call me a bitch, it's because I'm standing in my power of who I am and I'm protecting myself. And
Mm-hmm.
they want me to bow down to them, make them happy. You know, I should have said bye to everybody in the room. Oh, I'm not feeling well, made up some story so they felt better about me leaving. No, you want to talk about me, talk about me. Whatever. I'm out. So
I like
if it feels good, do it.
And it's not, I just want to say too to that, to the question, like if you are, like for the audience, if you are thinking of, you know, trying to embark on this journey of what you feel called to do, like it's probably not going to be easy because a lot of the times those big things that we're meant to do, they're going to be a challenge. But just like stick it out and keep taking step after step. Like, what is my next right step? What is my next right move? And you just keep moving forward. And I love that saying, fail forward, because you never actually fail. You're learning. You're receiving data. And so it's not going to be a cakewalk, but don't give up on yourself. Like if you feel called, that's what you feel called to do, then stick with it. And you might need to do something else that you don't necessarily want to do in the meantime while you're on that journey, but don't give up on yourself because that's the worst thing that you can do.
Good advice.
Okay, and then is there any advice that you would like to give the listeners when it comes to like doing what lights you up and not letting fear and scarcity take over?
You got to find people. If people find out who they are, they will find what lights them up, and
Mm-hmm.
then nothing will stop them.
Yeah.
Right? There's a big difference of I think I want or whatever. I know I am meant to change lives.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. How that looks, I don't know. But I know that me, living my dream, living this juicy and delicious life, I give other people permission to do the same.
Yes.
They see Barbie Lee and they go, she's not so pretty and she could do that. She's not so smart and she did that. Right? You
Yeah.
know? And so there's there's a beautiful journaling question that saved my life,
Okay.
literally because it gave me life. And the question is, who are you?
Mm.
And I did this, I did a weekend, it was 3 days. It was dyad style. And we weren't allowed to speak for the entire weekend.
Okay.
The only question we could say is, who are you? So we walk up to somebody, we'd bow, and if they bowed back, I would say, Ariana, who are you? And then we'd talk. There's no talking. You would talk. And then I would say, thank you when I felt you were done. And then you would look at me and say, Barbie Lee, who are you? And then I would answer. And then I would ask you back. And we would do this until we felt complete in that train of thought. And that's the only time we could talk is answering the question, who are you? And I give it to my clients all the time. 'Cause a lot of people don't have somebody to diet with. And I'm like, just journal. Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And just write, I'm a my wife, I'm a mother, I'm a this, I'm a that. Who are you? Who are you? And just keep until you get to the raw and realness of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Who I am. It's a 4 letter word, but it's a good 4 letter word. I am play.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
Everything, if I am not having fun, I'm out in
Yeah.
a second. And you know how I got out when I was a kid? My brothers and sisters would be mean to me. I'd get sick. So my mom had to pay better attention to me. I
Mm.
had ear infections, eye infections, throat infections, right? In junior high, if I didn't like being in a classroom, I got myself kicked out. I was out. Go sit in the principal's office. Hey, okay, well,
Yeah.
and when, again, I keep coming back to this, when we know who we are, everything flows better.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all the work you can do. There's books you can read. There's a beautiful book. It's a really old book. It's called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. And it's all about feeling. And when I read that book, I'm like, I feel like shit. Okay, how do I feel better? Okay, go do something. If I'm feeling down, my number one go-to is my Instagram. I follow moms of new babies, laughing babies,
Aw.
babies that fall over, like and they bring me such joy. And
Yeah.
then it rises my vibration. So again, find out who you are. Stop with the why am I here? I think that's a bullshit question. My purpose for life. It's kind of a bullshit question. Who are you? That will tell you why you're here. So
Mhm.
if I am play, well, I'm here to help others play. And by helping others play, they get to have a better life. Oh my God, I get to affect people's lives and have more fun in their lives. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in.
That's awesome. I love that. And I think it's important to note how you said, I can't remember what it was. But like to really kind of keep digging until you get that, because our first response is like, oh, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a teacher, I'm a sonographer. We go
Yeah.
to our roles. We have that tendency to go to our roles first, but this is like Barbie Lee is talking about like deep inside of you, like who are you at your root, and you figure that out and you keep going deeper and deeper and
Yeah.
into more levels. It's like peeling an onion kind of thing. And so
And while you peel an onion, you cry.
yeah.
And so if you're doing the work properly, you're going to cry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just the way it goes.
Okay, and then what is your proudest achievement?
Okay. So I have two amazing daughters. They are 26 and 30,
Okay.
and they text me regularly.
Nice.
I have friends that their kids don't. My
Yeah.
daughter just came to Mexico for 5 days. She had a few days and she came to hang out.
Aw.
My 26-year-old daughter came to hang out with her 56-year-old mom. And you know what? I could die tomorrow and know that my kids are good. They'll be devastated, devastated. However, I've given them a legacy.
Yeah.
They know who they are. They didn't have to wait till their 30s and 40s and 50s to figure it out.
That's
I've been working with them on who they are since they were little.
Oh, I love that.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really close with my mom too, so
Yeah.
I know that bond and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. And then I mean, I know that you've mentioned a few books, but can you recommend any books or apps or tools for the listeners?
So my favorite book of all time that everybody has to listen to forever and ever and ever, and you can get it on, you can watch it on YouTube, so you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. It's The Four Agreements by Don
Mm,
Miguel Ruiz. When my kids were younger, I read it to them. Then when they were, when they could read by themselves, they had to read it. They were paid $20 every time they read it, just so you know, because I paid my children for being better, not just doing chores.
yeah.
Um, and anytime somebody, their friends turned 16, 18, whatever age they were, they always got that book. That was what they received. Any friend in my world gets that book. And as soon as I meet somebody, I was like, have you read the Four Agreements? Like if I'm thinking about having a relationship with them. And
Hmm.
they're like, no. I'm like, I'm going to send you an audio. It's 2.5 hours. You can listen in 2 times speed because he talks pretty slow. So you get it done like an hour, like drive to work or something. And then people go, oh my God, this book changed my life. Then we can have better conversations.
I love that. Okay.
Right. So if we know the four agreements, always do your best, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, and don't make assumptions. And when we have conversations with people, right? What did I say to you at the beginning of the call? You're like, oh my, I'm a little frazzled. I had it a week. And I said, well, it's all perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to be here doing your best anyways. No one's going to know if we screw up, which by the way, we haven't. We have been on par, like seriously. But that's I could list 15 others, but the number one, everybody can understand it. There's no woo-woo-wism in there. There's no chakras and deep meditations. This is just good common sense, which ain't so common today.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
I think I am called to read that book because it has come up several times to me in the last few weeks here, and I've had it on my Audible wish list for like months. And I keep going over it. I'm like, maybe. And then I'm like, oh, but I got this one that I want to read. And so I think it's time.
Well, you can save your Audible credits and just watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
because the full book is read out loud on YouTube.
Okay. I'll have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And then so kind of another little fun one. What's the funniest story that your family tells about you or your friends?
Yeah. I asked my husband, I'm like, do y'all tell funny stories about me? He goes, yeah, behind your back. um, Actually, when my children, so I have been a very uncoordinated person my whole life. I was hit by a drunk driver when I was 16.
Oh my God.
So in those formative years of high school and what have you, I couldn't do anything.
Mm.
I was in the hospital for a number of months. I had to, learn how to use my legs again, stuff like that. And so when I, in my 50s, told my children and my husband that I was going to play pickleball, they laughed. And so they tell the story of what they talked about after it, because I was in Mexico and they were back in Canada. And they stayed on the call after and they were like talking to each other. Oh my God, mom's gonna like break a hip and she's gonna break an arm. And do these people know my mother doesn't even know how to hold a racket? And they had this whole conversation about me and they were trying to convince my husband to tell me I shouldn't be playing pickleball because I am so accident prone. Right. And today I kick their ass. Okay, maybe not the boys because they're like in their 20s and they're really fast, but the girls, I can kick their life is meant to be fun and share fun times. And that's the one that came up. The most recent one is my mother is playing pickleball. Okay. Yeah.
I played it. Brandon and I actually got rackets recently. We haven't used them yet because I
Oh,
found.
wait, excuse me. They're called paddles.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry.
We're pickleball snobs, so we have to say paddles. Anyway, sorry. I
But
digress.
we are wanting to go play. I don't think he's ever played before. I played a couple of times and it's actually a lot of fun. I used to play tennis too.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be any good to have fun,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And that's what I love about it. There was a guy there, he was really serious, and I was playing against him yesterday, and he like dropped his paddle. He was like so frustrated with his partner. I'm like, hey, Neve, are you having fun? And he goes, because I tell him he has to tell his face that he's having fun, right? Because he forgets. Because sometimes they take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But just like life, pickleball's a game.
Yeah.
Pickleball's a game. Life's a game. It's a four-letter word. Life. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Focus on your quality of life. Focus on how to be happy, how to squeeze the juicy and deliciousness out of it, and boom. Then you
That
can have all
reminds
kinds of
me.
fun stories.
You what?
I said, then you can have all kinds of funny stories.
Yes. That reminds me of back when I think I was in university and in the summers, or maybe I was still in high school. No, I was still in high school. But anyways, I used to work for the Hemstock residence in Lloydminster. So that's like an assisted living home. And there was this one gentleman there that we all loved. And every single time he would be like, how are you today, Ariana? And then if you were like it's about it, he'd be like, how are you today, Ariana? And he would just ask you
Yeah.
over and over until you were like, you know what? I'm doing good. I'm having a good day.
Right?
And he was just, yeah, he was just one of those people. And like, it's funny because some people, like, you might think you would get irritated by it or like whatever, but it's like just the type of person he was, it just actually like brightened your day. It made you happier. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, we always loved that about him.
He knew the secret to life.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then so you've already answered that question. What is one takeaway that you want the audience to get from this episode?
Well, I've said it 1,000 times, right? Focus on quality of life.
Mhm.
Find out who you are. And here's the thing, if you don't know, reach out to me, right? Qualityoflifeassurance.com. I'm the only Barbie Lee on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/Barbie Lee, I'm the only one. LinkedIn, I'm the only Barbie Lee on LinkedIn. I'm the only Barbie Lee on Twitter. I'm the only Barbie Lee on other platforms. Well, I think I had to be Barbie Lee H on TikTok. I'm not sure how that happened, but whatever. I don't use TikTok much, but I have an account. But talk to somebody who's just one level up from you, just that
Mhm.
one step up. You don't have to have it all. You don't have to have all the answers, and you don't have to go to the best of the best in the world. You just have to have somebody who's one step ahead of you. When I started in my network marketing business, I didn't know how to do network marketing. I know how to talk to people, and I was great at sales, but that's not what network marketing is. It's
Right.
not about sales. It's about relationships. I'm like, oh, once I learned that, I'm good with relationships,
Yeah.
right? So the takeaway is find out who you are. And if you don't know, ask around. This is one of the practices, and you may have done this. You send a message, a personal message to five of your closest friends, and you said, if you had to describe me in 3 to 5 sentences, what would you say about me?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to be brutally honest. If I'm a bitch, tell me. If I'm brooding too much about a lost relationship, tell me. Like what is, and if I'm, beautifully happy and you love hanging around with me, tell me. And they can be, five of them can all be different,
Yeah.
but I'm doing some work on myself and I want to look at this. And then you get to see who you are and how people see you. And then you get to throw it away because what other people think of you is none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to know how you're projecting
Yes.
to other people, you know? And when I said earlier about being water, I'm a chameleon. I can be in a room of tech brainiacs. So Saturday mornings, we have an AI class. I am so out of my league with brain power in that group. Okay, when it comes to AI. But there I am doing my thing, right? I don't care. They might think, oh, what's she doing here? You know what? I don't care. I'm there doing my thing.
Yeah. That's like that
So
saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
in the wrong room, right? And this is where, so asking people around you, um, finding out where is that juicy and delicious piece of your life, and then just do more of it.
Yeah.
And talk to that person that's one level ahead. Find out, reach out to me. I love new friends. I love having conversations. So reach out to me. I'll have a conversation with you, just like we did, right?
Yes.
That's how we connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Barbie Lee she's wonderful. She's great to talk to. She's very outgoing. She makes you feel so comfortable. And like, if you are wanting to reach out, don't question it because there's no judgment. There's no, like, she's wonderful. So, okay. And what is next on your journey? I know you were talking a little bit about AI and working with people in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah. That's my thing. So my whole business around quality of life assurance has been followed me. So in my 30s when I started, in my 40s and going through perimenopause and now into menopause, I still like it's those people that I'm helping and stuff. But my tagline, fully live until you die, is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And so each part of my life that things change, my businesses grow with me. So whether it's my coaching business, whether it's my network marketing business, or now it's going to be my AI piece of that, it's just because I know who I am. So I'm taking the next logical step. I could do all the work myself and post myself all the time and create content and change outfits and have my husband video like I've been doing for years. Or I can learn about digital twins and how to say, if you go to my Instagram, which is, oh, I don't know, Barbie Lee. Actually, I think it's Barbie Lee H as well. So Barbie Lee Hemmings. But if you go to my Instagram and you see a picture of me playing pickleball, it's not me. Right. And I was like, I freaking love this because I can churn out more content. I have such great ideas and such, but me doing it and running my business on the side is a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I found somebody who taught me really well. I'm on this course. I'm in this course and it's self-directed. So I can listen to it at 2 times speed, which I freaking love because my brain loves 2 times speed. So now I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's go. Let's take it on. Right? Oh, 2 seconds. I'm back in one. My phone, my screen's like, oh, you have 10% battery left.
Oh,
There we go. Now we have power. So yeah, doing AI, but still coming from that place of life is juicy and delicious. I had a conversation with a friend today. They're digital nomads now. They put everything they own in storage. They're taking 2 years to travel, but they have to work 6 to 15 hours a day, depending
oh,
on where they are. And I'm like, to me, that's not a digital nomad.
yeah,
Like it is, by the definition, you can work anywhere, but
yeah,
who the hell wants to live their life in a new country doing the same thing you were doing in your old country?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I don't get. But that's just me. And that's why I picked up network marketing, is because I have 25 countries that my products can go out to. So
Yeah.
everywhere I go and everybody I meet knows somebody in one of those countries that I can help.
Yeah.
So I'm not limited to, being online doing this 6, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
After I hang up here, there's a group of women meeting. It's called Shift Your Shit Talk. I'm like, I'm in. I'll be late, but I'm coming, you know?
I love that. That's awesome. Okay. And then well, you've already kind of talked about that, but can you just let people know well, and for in the video, it's up on there as well, but what is your website if anyone wants to reach out to you?
So qualityoflifeassurance.com it talks about what quality of life is. BarbieLeeHemmings.com takes you to everything. There's all kinds of links in there. It says, oh, I want to learn about quality of life. Oh, I want to learn about isogenics. Oh, I want to learn about .com, which by the way is a tip for all of you. If you do not have your name.com, and I don't mean whyouarename.com, I'm talking about BarbieLeeHemmings.com or Ariana Reinhart.com. Go and buy it right now. It's like $10 a year or $15 a year, whatever it costs. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to have it so when you do have your business, that was somebody told me that years ago and saved my world. I tried to get barbielee.com, but there's a little Chinese lady. Her name is actually Barbie Lee. She runs a dance studio
Oh,
in Minnesota. But when she dies, man, I'm getting barbielee.com. Anyway, so yeah, my Facebook, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn the most. And it's all when you search Barbie Lee, Barbie Lee
okay.
H, Barbie Lee Hemmings, I'm the only one that pops up. So,
Yeah, I've
and you
noticed.
can just Google me, man. You should Google me. It's fun. You should see my hairstyles in some of the podcasts and stuff I've done over the years. Just Google me. It's fun. Anyway, I was like, really? My husband let me cut my hair like that? He didn't tell me. Yeah, that's the best way.
Okay, beautiful.
Or come to Playa del Carmen.
That's
I'll
all.
be here until like at least the end of 2026, at least, maybe longer.
Are you thinking of moving somewhere after that?
I don't know.
No.
I've signed a lease for a year, so I told him I'd be here
Uh,
until next August. So we'll see what happens.
nice.
If we like it, we stay. If we don't like it, we move. I'm not
Yeah.
a tree. I can move.
That's great advice because so many people think that, they need to just stay where they are. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Okay, and then do you have a question that you would like to ask me? Oh dear. She is like
Oh
clapping her
dear.
hands like ecstatic for this right now.
It's their evil laugh here. Actually, my question for you is very simple.
Okay.
What does quality of life mean to you?
Quality of life. What does it? It means, ooh, to me, it means living like in full alignment with like who I am and just like living my best life, taking care of myself and being fully connected into who I am and into like source and into my higher self and connected with Gaia and my spirit team and just enjoying life, enjoying who I am, being unapologetically me, and loving life, enjoying it, having fun. That's
Perfect. And notice how nowhere in there did you say, I wanted to have enough money or enough friends. This is all about centered on you.
mm-hmm.
And I know, and that's why we connected so deeply because you are already in that place at such a young age, because you're so much younger than I am, in who you are and connecting to that. And this is why the message of quality of life is so important.
mm-hmm.
If you are not squeezing, and my next question for you, what is the juicy and deliciousness that you are squeezing out of life right now?
Ooh, right now. Well, Brandon and I are planning a trip to either Hawaii or Costa Rica for February. So that's juicy and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also planning out I'm kind of in the like research stages right now of planning out like a call, a group call for women who are wanting to, like, who are feeling unfulfilled in their relationships and are wanting to be able to learn how to communicate better with their partners, or even if they're not in a relationship, being able to communicate when it comes to time for that in a way that helps you to like form that deeper connection that you desire rather than adding to and fueling the conflict. So that's what I'm
Nice.
creating right now.
Wonderful. And see, I just had 15 ideas of how AI can help you do that, just so you know. So we'll have another conversation. This has been a blessing. I loved this.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining. I am so happy that you jumped on with me. I know it was a very like impromptu. I met you on the call and I was like, "Oh my God, I need to get to know this woman and I want to interview her on the podcast." So I am so grateful and appreciative that you decided to join us, and I'm sure the listeners will be super excited to hear this episode as well. Do you have any last comments or thoughts for anyone?
I'm laughing because I'm like, oh my God, I think I talked really fast. They can't listen to this in 2 times speed. I only listen to podcasts and stuff in about 2 times speed. And I was like, oh, maybe I spoke too fast. I'm like, they'll figure it out. No, I love this. I love these are the conversations that we as human beings need to have with each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? We need to have real connecting conversations. So
Yes.
my challenge that I'm going to put out to the group is, you know what, call your five closest friends. You're going to send them the email anyways, or the message about, how do you see me? Like, well, the words to describe me. And then when they've done that, you get to call them back and say, you know what, we're going to have a, let's talk about how fabulous we are conversation. And everything, the whole conversation is going to be, oh, and I did this and I did this. And when I was 6, I learned how to wipe my own butt. And when I was 8, like whatever it is, right? And just come up with all the things to raise our vibrations so that we can start having better conversations with people, because that's what we need.
Yes.
If anything, these last 5 years of divisiveness, especially here, like around the world for sure, but we live in North America and I've watched it, Canada, US, and Mexico,
Yes.
and it's crazy. And we just want to be loved. We
Yeah.
just want to know someone else loves us.
Yes. Love
And I
it.
have lots of love for everybody. So reach out to me.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, Barbie Lee. I am so happy to have had this conversation. And thank you so much to the listeners for tuning into the show today. If you loved the call, please reach out to us or let me know like your thoughts, your biggest takeaways in an email. I'll have my email in the show notes, and I'll have Barbie Lee's information in the show notes for you guys as well. And if you love the show, please subscribe to it, rate it, leave some comments, leave some reviews. Give us, if you did any of like the suggestions that we gave for you today, let us know. All right. Thank you again so much for everything. And I am so grateful to you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember that you are not broken, you are loved, and you are already everything you're seeking. Until next time, be gentle, be bold, be you.